and welcome to Chapter 2. Section 1 is going to start talking about integers. Now, integers are essentially positive and negative numbers. When we specifically say the word integer, however, we're talking about whole numbers only. Now, whole numbers means they're not part numbers, and a part number is a fraction or a decimal. Now, granted, don't get me wrong here, because there are negative fractions and there are negative decimals, but we're not talking about them today. When you talk about integers, you're talking about whole numbers, positive and negative, okay? So, we're going to start on a basic number line. Now, when you were in kindergarten and you got your very first ruler, you learned that the ruler starts at 0 and it goes all the way up and it goes to 12, but you learned that numbers go all the way up and up and up and they never stop. Well, what I need you to understand today is that 0 is actually the middle of the number line, and there are negative numbers that go in the opposite direction, all the way down and down and down to infinity, negative infinity. So, I also need you to understand that the larger the negative number, the smaller the amount is. And if you think about it in terms of temperature, it might be a little easier, knowing that the higher you go in the positive range, the more heat you have. But the lower you go in the negative range, the less heat you have. So -2, which is 2 degrees below 0, is cold. But -5 is even colder because there's less heat. So 5 is actually smaller on the heat scale than -2 is. Does that make sense? So, what we're going to start is just by recognizing integers and their opposites and how to graph them on a number line. Okay? So I'm going to start with my 3 numbers here. I'm going to start with -2. So we're going to start at 0. We're going to count backwards. 1, 2. Here is my -2 spot. And I put a dot and I've named it, so yes, I know exactly what we're talking about. Now that's the number I'm also going to graph its opposite. We're going to go 1, 2, 2 up, and this is a +2. So I've done -2 and its opposite. Next we're going to do 5. 5 on the number line, you've known this for quite a while. And then we're going to go -5, and we're going to graph that as well. And then we have -4. We're going to start over here on the -4 spot. And we're also going to do its opposite, +4. Got it? Should be pretty straightforward. So push pause, because your turn is going to be, if you haven't already drawn a number line, please do so now. Really doesn't have to be beautiful, just really quick. And then I'd like you to graph these 3 numbers and their opposites. Push pause, come back when you're done. All right, so -9 starts way down here, and then +9 is up here. Speed it up a little because I'm sure you're bored. 7 and -7, and then some random other color. -3 and 3. Ta-da! Are you good with this? I hope so. Okay, so you can use a number line to order integers from least to greatest. Remember, you've got to always find the smallest. Now you can start with a number line. If negative numbers are kind of for you, keep using the number line. We're going to take these 6 numbers and we're going to put them on our number line so that we can see the order really easily. So I'm going to start 6, 7, 8. With my -8, my 0, a 2, whoops, sorry, 2, -3, 6, and -5. And now, if you put them all on the number line, it's really obvious that from least to greatest, you start at the -8 and you work your way up. So if I were to write down my answer, I would actually write down -8, -5, -3, 0, 2, 6. And that's our answer of least to greatest. You can't just leave it on the number line. You actually have to write them out. Now, can you do this without a number line? You know what? if you get the understanding that the larger the negative digit, the smaller the amount, you can just have a look. You can just see. So you can look at all of these numbers and have a go at it. So I want you to try it without the number line. If you need it, you can still use it, but try it without. Push pause, do these 6 numbers for me in order, least to greatest, and then come back. Okay? So we're going to look for the largest negative digits, and that's going to be -10. The next number is -7, and then we have -4, and now we just have positive numbers left, so we're going to go from least to greatest. We've got a 1, we've got a 3, and we've got a 5, and there are our digits, all our numbers, in order from least to greatest. You good with that? New concept. You ready? Absolute value. Absolute value is defined as the distance from 0. This is a vocabulary. You probably want to highlight it, underline it, make it all pretty. The distance from 0. Now this number is always positive. The answer is always positive. And we write it like this. We see this. We've got our digit is 4, our number's 4, and we put it in these 2 big long parallel lines. And we have to make them larger than the number so that it doesn't look like 141. We want to make sure these look like parallel lines. And the way that, the question that it's asking is, how far away is it from 0? So if we were to graph 4, and have a look at it, it is 4 spots away from 0. So the answer to what is the absolute value of 4 is 4. Just like the answer to what is the absolute value of 7 is 7, because it's 7 spots from 0. However, you get here to -5. How far away from 0 is -5? Well, it's 5 spots. It's not -5 spots, because that doesn't make any sense. It's 5. Your answer is always positive. Absolute value of 2 is 2. Absolute value of -3 is 3. Got it? You do these 2 for me. Quick. Absolute value of -6 is 6. Absolute value of 9 is... It's really that easy. Now don't get confused. Some people, when they're in a hurry, they just switch. So the absolute value of -2 is 2, but the absolute value of 2 is -2. And that doesn't work. Your answer always has to be positive. So whatever your value is, it's just that, positive, okay? All right, that was it. You have how to graph them on a number line. You have how to put them in order from least to greatest, and you have how to find the absolute value. So here's your homework. I've got 4 of these that I'd like you to draw a number line and graph the number and its opposite. So you're going to have 8 dots with the numbers above them, please. I'd like you to order these from least to greatest. You can use a number line if you want to, but you don't have to. And then you're going to find the absolute value of these 2 numbers, okay? Good luck. Please remember, I need a star on the stuff that you're comfortable with. I need hazard symbols where you're not comfortable. And I need you to write down any questions you have so we can get through it and power through our homework, okay? Good luck.